years and worked hard to make it a better place to live and raise children. She's recently been working in the Y in Harlem, but her passion has always been working for the people of the Lower East Side, which is why we're happy to announce today that Jasmin has accepted a position as a community liaison for Senator Daniel's Squadron. Please welcome Jasmin to say a few words about her experience in the community and what she expects from her new state senator.
First, let me express my gratitude for the privilege of addressing the issues that are affecting my community at this forum. This opportunity is an honor for me since there have been so many changes within my community. My grandparents came to the United States in 1959. They resided on Orchard Street, then Delancey Street. They came to the United States for better opportunities, better jobs, a better educational system, and better networking. I remember what my community used to be. The memories of the sounds of music electrifying the air, the hallway smelling of food, and the loud voices, which some might interpret as fighting, but I knew as conversations. Walking down Clinton Street and Delancey Street and seeing that all the small businesses were owned and employed by community members. If you walk through there now, you would not see Kike's Jewelry Store, Soulmax, or Gregory's Party Supply stores. Businesses operated by community members have been eliminated due to the increase of rent, similar stores from non-community members, and the lack of assistance available. The very same businesses that help employ individuals within the community, creating a sense of ownership, pride, and communications. I remember attending schools that all the neighborhood children attended. After having having after-school programs that increased social and academic skills and decreased violence. My community was a constant reminder that we are our brother's keepers. Growing up on Delancey Street in the Lower East Side was the greatest thing. I grew up in Baruch houses, the largest NYCHA development in Manhattan, in 1979. Close to 30 years later, after analyzing the programs that I am actively a part of and comparing them to my childhood, community, family, education, and employment were pivotal components that unified this community. And those are the very things that we are lacking today. This community is special. I have always felt that it is like Cheers. Everywhere you went, everyone knew your name. Within Baruch houses, we had the best family structure. Everyone assisted to the daily composition of a household by babysitting, providing food, providing translation services, transcribing documents, and much more. But today, I am concerned. Concerned about not knowing who lives in my building, concerned about the safety, the graffiti on the walls, and the unsanitary elevators, and most importantly, concerned about displacement. I believe this is due to the lack of tenant association structure, active tenant patrols, and community events. There is no sense of pride within the community because there is no sense of ownership. Change is owning our communities. From Delancey Street to 14th Street, from the FDR Drive to Avenue B and anywhere in between the Williamsburg Bridge and Brooklyn Bridge, this is my neighborhood. The majority of the issues that face the community are similar. The people are in a struggle, fighting poverty, violence, language barriers, lack of resources, miscommunication, and unemployment. Many of my childhood friends are from Lillian Wald houses. The NYCHA development was named after Ms. Lillian Wald, a nurse and a social reformer, who worked to create a more just society in the Lower East Side, based on the premise that all men are created equal, with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. During the early 1900s, issues such as housing reform, public health care, combating illiteracy, and bettering the lives of children, adults, and working families were the main priorities in leveraging the playing field for all the residents of the Lower East Side. There was a time when the center of community life depended on outstanding programs implemented by local settlement houses, programs such as GED preparations, ESL classes, assistance with low-income and affordable housing, work readiness, youth development, performing arts, application for park permits, sports and recreation, and anti-violence projects, just to name a few. These programs align with Ms. Wald's vision. Within the last few years, the direct services to this community have dwindled, since local settlement houses have to meet funding guidelines and service people outside the district to meet their quota. This serves to be most frightening because now NYCHA residents have to deal with the budget cuts of both our senior centers and community centers. This was an alternative to not receiving the vital assistance from some community-based organizations. Every community should have an accessible and operating community center and senior center to ensure that all members of the community obtain the skills needed to enhance their quality of life. It is always easier to shift the blame to someone when injustice is present. I acknowledge that the government is not going to solve all of the community problems, that we have to unite as a community and state what our needs are. If we do not actually search for the source of our problems, then a solution is but an illusion. We do not have to march, rally, or protest every time we feel our rights are being threatened. We, the people, have the power to elect politicians that will advocate on our behalf. It is their job to serve, aid, and protect us, to strengthen our families and communities, and to listen and keep our best interests in mind. We need someone who expects more from Albany, but also expects more from businesses, community organizations, and constituents. In this past election, we let our voices be heard. We chose a man to represent us who believes that we can deliver results in the community. Someone who addresses neighborhood concerns, a man who knows there will be challenges but will never give up. And that man is Senator Daniel Squadron. Thank you.
None other than that man, Daniel Squadron.